Pac was a great persona. I think he played an amazing character. I just think that we elevate him a little more.
Part of him prophesizing his own death has created this kind of like martyrdom around Pac. So it's just like the aura around him versus the person he actually was. The reality of.
I also have the privilege of having known Pac. I knew Pac when he was with Digital Underground. I watched his growth. I also was on the set of Juice and hanging out with Tretch. And so I got a chance to see some of the changes. So when you watch the changes and then you add the backstory stuff that you know, not what was put out, but you know what really happened in Quad Studio. You know the truth about stuff. It's hard for you to elevate him knowing the things that you know. That's just in my opinion. And from a rapper style, I think he was a great storyteller, but I just don't think that he has maintained that position because of the skills as much as who he was in the persona.
Yeah, in terms of like technical skills, Pac was not that.
No.
There are some young people listening that are confused when you say what happened in Quad versus what you know happened in Quad. What happened in Quad?
That was where he was shot 5 times.
I'm saying some people claim to be shot 4 or 5 times. Some people actually get shot. There's differences in what actually the story that was told and was blasted over the radio and blaming Biggie and blaming Pac and Puff and all that. And then there's the truth. And I'm saying if you're privy to know the truth of what really happened, which has come out over years, who really robbed and all that stuff, you understand that everything that happened post that moment was built on a lie. My problem with it, I can't respect him to the level of elevating him, knowing that his lies and the lies that he told led to him and Biggie's death. You stole greatness from all of us with the lie that you rode with.
Damn.
And you knew it was a lie. Because him nor Big should be dead right now. Now, they may have died from some other shit along the way, but the way they died at the time when they died was all based on a lie.
It's directly related to that.
And that's why I can never put him up there.
You are harsh.
Whew, that's cool. I'm 6'5".
That was a lot. Let me see here. Now I'm not mad at Ice's opinion anymore about 3 Stacks. I can't believe he's saying these things about Tupac. Where do we begin?
Wherever you want to start it off, sir.
So you're knocking him for great marketing.
I'm knocking him for dangerous marketing. But yeah, the marketing was great. I'm not mad.
We're in hip hop.
You're right. A lot of people do.
Only Outkast could wear feather skirts and all this other type. The rest of us have to bust a gun at some point, sell a drug, shoot somebody, and that's the game that he was in. Also, I don't like y'all Nipsey argument because everybody gets a death. The same way they got that thing they say, hey, we all get the same 24 hours. Everybody here is going to get a death. Your death is a part of your story. If that catapults your story, then awesome for you. If they smut your name over how you died, that however we go is part of it. So Nipsey's death and young people wanting to learn about him and the stories that came out and the Bloods and Crips with the flag in the air and how that funeral looked on TV, there was a lot of extra shit to make people want to go do some research. And the story of Nipsey was transcended music, which was, he's working with police. He's into the tech. He's talking this independent crypto shit back in 2011. All of those things helped him to transcend music posthumously. The same thing applies for Tupac, right? Tupac transcended hip-hop and rap. The music
Tupac was a star while he was here, though, too. He was MTV, all that shit. We're not going to act like Tupac was.
Look,
and also
Tupac
movies.
But while he was here, he transcended music to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
His persona while he was here, what I'm saying, Pac's persona, who he became, shooting the cops in Atlanta and getting away with it, all that was all, built it up. I get it. I'm just sitting there saying, so I'll use your example then, that everyone has a death. Is Nipsey's album better than Pop Smoke's was?
Victory Lap better than Pop Smoke's.
Posthumous.
Because he put out a few albums.
The posthumous one. The one.
Star.
His first one?
No.
The
one that 50 worked on.
Yeah, the one in 50 right after the
I'd
IDL
have to
dropped
look
that
at the
one.
track list of that one.
To answer your question, yes, Victory Lap is better than that album.
Really, I felt like
I would
Pop's
say.
album was better. What Pop's album to me felt like a better body of work. That had he been around to work, I think it would have been a bigger album and would have catapulted him to a bigger place than he was. Nip's post album, I felt, came with a lot of.
Well, first, Nip was here for his album.
Yeah, actually, he was here for his.
He passed after the album.
Yeah, that's true.
So then the difference would be that he had an album out that didn't garner.
Well, no.
Right?
The album, it was his first studio album. Now, I've been a Nip fan since probably 2009. So I'm early into the Nip wave. I actually hosted Nipsey's first performance in New York at I think it was Bowery Ballroom at the time. But Nip has been gearing up for this particular album for about 7 years. Okay. Like all his fans, yo, dog, where's Victory Lap at? When's it coming? Like even when we had the date, we ain't believe it. Like, yeah, I know you've been telling us Victory Lap is on the way for 7 years, bro. It's this. We never getting this album. So it came out. It was what we wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. He threw some classics on there that he like Blue Laces 2, like that we, the original Blue Laces is a Nipsey classic record. So you went and touched that one. You did a Status Symbol. Like you went and got into your bag. You had the Rap Niggas record, which was a big single when it came out. Mm-hmm. The Last Time That I Checked with YG, big single when it came out. So he had, this album did what it was supposed to do for him. He was nominated for
the sales. My point is the sales. No matter how you look at it, Nipsey's sales when he passed on that album did not match the level that his death brought him to and then brought us up to. That's what I'm saying. The album was not top 5 for a dozen weeks on, or it wasn't Kendrick's album that's still on the charts 287 weeks type of thing.
Well, no.
What you said, Nipsey fans and people that knew Nipsey were waiting for this album.
Correct.
Yeah, but I don't like that because history in hip hop shows us that the sales of an album don't really tell the story of how it will appreciate as art over time.
Agreed, but I guess the same thing. What I'm saying with Pac,
what he did, 51st week, 41st week,
he did
something like that.
He
It
did.
was low.
It debuted at number 4, and it did 53,000 first week.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, when nobody paying attention no more.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying is, I'm just using Nipsey as the example. On the Pac side, again, I think from a personal standpoint, and this is having lived through the entire process, having lived through the East Coast, West Coast, or having lived through it, there's probably some resentment to knowing that the greatness that Pac had in him and the greatness that we would never get to see from Big all stems from a lie. And that may be the curve that I look at Pac on, because
that's
that's
what it sounds like. It sounds like it. Because in listening to the things that you had to say about Dre and what you're saying about Pac, right? Like I put more stock into Pac for only being able to rhyme 16 words and doing what he did. I put more stock into Pac for not being of that life. All the West Coast dudes tell me Pac wasn't that. Well, yeah, but then I'm giving more credit for him rapping like that, producing that music, and art imitates life. He didn't have to be like that. If he kept talking that shit, those words eventually willed to real life situations around him where he had to be in it, whether he was of that or not.
Yeah.
So casino fight, Suge coming to the jail, the stories that you hear about from the studio, if he's in that, I don't care that he was bred from that or not. This is where he's at now.
It's going to hit people different when they were around and people lost their life. So I understand what Blue was saying.
Yeah,
Same thing with Stretch family, rest in peace. Like, they have the same feeling, about Pac. A lot of people have that feeling about Pac when you're close to the situation.
You can't name 10 better catalogs than fucking Pac.
I wasn't trying to. I'm not trying to.
I think it's more personable.
Yeah, I was just saying more personable for me.
Yeah.
Really, what I said that set you off was, I feel he's overrated. That was it.
He watched it play out in front of him. He was there. He watched the character. You hear these stories as well. And, he just watched. I hear what you're saying.
I didn't like that shit, though, that he said.
We see, I hear what you're saying. He turned the marketing scheme into something. It is dangerous marketing, but it catapulted him to a stratosphere.
Hey, say what y'all want. Y'all niggas don't want to see him in no verses.
It's a long day. It's a long day.
Hey, say what y'all want. Y'all want